I want to talk about birthdays and why I think the whole idea is fucking stupid. But first, happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, dear Dexter. Happy birthday to me. Fuck your birthdays and fuck normies. They want you to give credence to the concept of birthdays and celebrate them so that they can gain validation and comfort from your approval. Do not accept bullshit just to please others. So, again, I've just had to endure that time of year where people buy your plastic shit that goes straight to landfill or the charity shop. When I was a kid, I liked birthdays for the obvious reasons, but now that I'm not, I fucking hate them. Well, not birthdays themselves. Birthdays are just an abstract concept and a misnomer. You only have one birthday and subsequent yearly anniversaries. What I fucking hate is the way people behave around them and the fact that they want you to do the same because they think their superstitious and egocentric bullshit justifies their behaviour. The very concept of birthdays is flawed. We measure time in planetary revolutions of the sun, albeit more accurately now with the use of atomic clocks. Incidentally, cesium atoms absorb microwaves at a rate of 9,192,631,770 cycles within a period of time we call 1 second. This seems to me to be a once useful but now arbitrary method, its only utility being that it's objective and standardised. One more time around the great ball of fire in the sky on this shitty rock full of fucking arseholes. Most people don't farm and they don't lead a commonly understood definition of a primitive lifestyle, and therefore don't live lives according to the seasons. They live in a modern 24/7 lifestyle with electric lights, information technology, and in buzzing cosmopolitan hubs of human activity, which are largely free from the physical constraints imposed by seasonal variations. So, why abide by this primitive method of timekeeping? I'll tell you why. Because they are fucking troglodytes who need externally imposed regulation because it's difficult for them to conceptualize long time periods. By breaking time down into small chunks, it makes it easy for them. How else will they remember what to do and when? We have diaries, alarm clocks, reminder services, anniversaries, calendars, and regularly repeating events and routines with standardised intervals. We have a whole range of ways to keep things simple for people. There's only 7 fucking days in a week, 24 hours in a day, and they're asleep for 8 of them. And they still fucking lose track of time and forget things. The system we do have is fucked up. The Gregorian calendar, a bastardised religious method. If reason and evidence-based learning dominated early civilization, well, civilization for want of a better word, instead of religion, imagine how much more advanced the human race would be now. Right, I'm fucking rambling. You can see that people need primitive ways to keep time because they can't conceptualize long time periods or remember what is supposed to happen and when. A simple way for them to measure it is planetary revolutions of the sun. With people's lack of originality and creativity, combined with their egocentric attitudes, comes the idea of birthdays. You see, they're all about themselves and they can't wait to celebrate themselves. You only have one birthday when you come through the birth canal, and some people don't even do that. I imagine in the future nobody will. Subsequent so-called birthdays are not birthdays, they are anniversaries. Some observations of mine about so-called birthdays are as follows. Number 1. People buy your shit. I would say not much thought goes into present buying, however it does, but it's the wrong kind of thought. Some people are easy to buy for. They like any old shit that corporations sell and will eat and drink themselves to death as long as and especially if people buy it for them. Non-edible plastic shit that they don't eat gets piled high in their mud boxes too. Other people are harder to buy for. I've noticed that the general attitude of people when buying presents for this group is that as long as they buy them something and discharge their self-imposed social obligation to do so, they don't give a shit what the gift actually is. Have you ever noticed the amount of so-called birthday presents that are unwanted and are then sold, discarded, given away, put in storage, or just forgotten about? It's a lot. This is bad, particularly considering that most of the people who buy them know the recipient well and should have an idea of what they like and what they want, or what would be suitable as a gift. Therefore, the odds of success of buying a suitable gift that is well received should be quite high. But the outcome doesn't reflect that. Why is that? This leads on to the next point. Number 2. This point is just an elaboration of the thought processes involved in buying gifts. So I would say that the idea of buying stuff all the time is just stupid. A gift can be abstract. It doesn't have to be physical. Where did this idea come from? Stupid animals mindlessly taking resources from the environment. It seems to me that people are bombarded with messages from corporations to buy, and they do so without any critical thought. For the buyers who don't give a shit about what the gift is, but buy one anyway to discharge their social obligation, well, that says more about them than the recipient. Why do people do this? There are a few reasons. As usual, it's all about them. Therefore, they will conspicuously buy and present a gift with the intention of portraying themselves in a positive light. The people who do this usually do it in an overly dramatic and theatrical way. Obviously, it doesn't matter if the recipient likes it or not, because by giving the gift, the purpose has been achieved. Oh look, she's kind. Did you see what she bought him? Wow, what a nice person. People also buy gifts to comfort and reassure themselves. Now, when people have been treating others poorly, they feel bad about themselves and think that this can be undone or made up for in some way by buying plastic shit for the recipient. This usually works though, because the recipients are usually as stupid as the givers and susceptible to manipulation. Both of these reasons are to manipulate their own personal and social identities in an ingratiating way. However, because this behaviour is contrived and not genuine, it is deceptive and manipulative. Just to slide in another point, which is about false sentiment. In birthday cards, there's usually a pre-printed message wishing the recipient well. Do you wish them so well that you can't be asked to write anything yourself? Looks like it. If you can't think of anything to write and or can't be asked to write it, what do you actually wish them? You know, if you put any sentiment, it's fucking bullshit. It would take 10 seconds to write. This is similar to when people lay it on thick. Instead of just saying happy birthday, they might follow it up with something like, I hope you have a really good day, or I hope you enjoy it whatever you do, or something similar. This is usually written in a card or a text message and less often said in face-to-face speech. It is less often said in face-to-face speech because it's fucking unnatural and contrived, and if you said it in face-to-face speech, it would appear so. Saying something like that is an attempt at conveying more positive sentiment with zero loss to oneself. But saying it doesn't have any tangible effect on the person or the day. You know, when someone says that, it doesn't automatically improve the person's day, doesn't make it better in any measurable way. The universe doesn't know it's someone's birthday and flex itself in that person's favour. So in that sense, it's superstitious and a waste of fucking time for the recipient, but benefits the giver. Number 3. The next point further elaborates on why people buy shit for others. It's all about the givers, not the takers. The claimed reason for actually buying gifts for people is that the recipients are valued and respected, and the givers are appreciative of them and their existence. This is bullshit though. It's just something that people like to deceive themselves and others with. As said earlier, if that was the case, surely when the recipient is asked what they want, or more importantly, what they don't want, they should and would be listened to and an appropriate gift acquired or not. They're just not listened to though. Take me for example. I was recently asked what I wanted and I said nothing. In fact, I knew what was going to happen and I actually told people before they asked. I, and you hopefully, at least if you've got this far, actually think about things. The smallest differences in items can greatly influence our material desires, but our constant rigorous analysis of everything is far beyond the cognitive capabilities of most people who cannot conceptualize nuances like we can. Therefore, people cannot understand why we don't like or don't want something that is 99.9% the same as something that we do. To them, it looks identical, but the difference is in the 0.1%, which they cannot understand. It's small for them, big for us. Anyway, so people don't listen to someone who they claim to value, then either get them something at all and something they don't want, need, or will ever use. It actually annoys me greatly. It's just a waste. I received gifts recently and I was just going to smash them there and then, but my socialisation won. When asked, I actually said to donate any money that would be spent on useless shit to a worthy cause of my choice. Did that happen? Did it fuck? If people value me enough to buy, acquire, or make me something and celebrate my existence, fucking listen to what I've got to say. That is more respectful. Buying shit that goes to landfill is counterproductive. The resources used in that exchange could have been better used righting some of the wrongs humans have done to this planet. Also, I'd rather people listen and engage in an interesting conversation and give their time. Even 20 minutes would be so satisfying and interesting. But they can't, and they don't. This leads on to the next point. Number 4. This is that when people give a gift, usually bought with currency, not money, there is a difference, look it up. The gift has zero value. I'll elaborate on why it has zero value, but first I'll say that the reason they do this is because they do not want to give anything of value to you, because by doing so they will lose value. That is why they do not give their time. Useless plastic shit, which makes up the bulk of consumer products and hence what people buy as gifts for people, are exchanged in return for zeros on a screen. This is purely abstract and is meant to represent wealth and value. Of course it doesn't, which is why the world economy is in a perpetual cycle of boom and bust. People can buy and have gifts delivered to others by pressing a few buttons on a screen late on a random Tuesday night when they belatedly remember that it's someone's birthday. The work they do and to get paid for is worthless, and once they have a roof over their heads and food in their cupboards, etc., the money in the bank is abstract. It doesn't make a difference if there's £50 less that they've spent on a gift. It just doesn't make a difference. So when they spend it, they're not losing anything. To get you a gift, they don't have to work or do anything or exchange anything of value or put any effort in themselves. They would never want to do that, when instead they can press the purchase button on their smartphones, which is so much easier. Doesn't require any effort. So the points I've made therefore begs the question, do these people actually value you like they claim to? They don't put any thought into buying you a gift, they don't care if you like it or not, they don't listen to you and don't give you anything of value or anything you want or put any effort into it. Next one, number 5. Right, so that's the last one actually. Finally, it seems that people who follow these stupid cliche traditions like birthdays, but also Christmas, etc., are stupid and are easy to influence, manipulate and control. So, I've already stated some of the reasons why this is. But have you ever noticed that particular societal strata seem to go overboard with their celebrations? Well, I have. I think occasions like Christmas and Halloween, particularly in the US, exemplify this point better than birthdays because everybody celebrates these at the same time, but it still applies to birthdays. So I'll use Christmas and Halloween as examples. At Christmas and Halloween, the fucking idiots deck their houses in all the shit props and lights, they buy all the paraphernalia, wear the clothes, eat the food, buy the presents, and follow all the stupid rituals and so on. They immerse themselves in it, conspicuously so. Not only at the time, but long before and long after. It's a running joke to see how early people put up Christmas decorations on and in their houses, and the primitive and competitive nature in which they do it. They do this for two reasons. Firstly, because they are part of the collective. This naturally leads on to the second, which is that they are fucking thick, not individuals, and don't have their own ideas. We know that self-assured people with confidence have and put forward their own ideas, like I am right now. By the way, these are usually informed and considered, and therefore antithetical and offensive to the hive mind of the uncritically endorsing masses. People who have their own ideas are self-aware, take an interest in things beyond the mundane and whatever is beamed into their minds from the propaganda box in their living rooms. They don't even watch TV, do you? They have a unique, individual and self-created personality that they've been working on for their entire lives, particularly with the help of auto-education and auto-psychotherapy. Ridiculous notions like birthdays and Christmas, I mean, you could talk all day about Christmas, and they say truth is stranger than fiction. That's truth as in how Christmas came about, not that it's true. Ridiculous notions like birthdays and Christmas are so fucking alien and retarded to these people. You know, they're just so intuitively wrong in so many ways. It's just so obviously stupid, and for us, it's just not worth mentioning. The masses don't think though. They uncritically endorse and follow bullshit. When we actually become an advanced civilization, we'll celebrate things that are worthy of celebration. Things like technological achievement, creative and artistic endeavour, athletic attainment, before bodily augmentation anyway, intellectualism, moral virtue and other personal achievements. What we won't celebrate is being on a fucking rock going round the sun one more time. Just like a primitive tribe dancing around a few big stones, wearing face paint and chanting when the sun rises. So, fuck your cards, fuck your presents, fuck your false sentiment, and fuck your ingratiating tone. And most of all, fuck your birthdays.